Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is JKowalski. I'm going to be going ahead and doing my presentation on corporate espionage. Um, as you can see, I got the two spies on the first page. One has the little Ferrari emblem on his arm, and the other has the Renault wings. That was just one important case that I'll be talking about. First comes first. What is corporate espionage? Corporate, obviously, it's pertaining to a corporation or a group that is coming together for a common goal. Espionage, basically the systematic use of spies, whether it be military, political, or industrial secrets. And then when you put the two words together, you get corporate espionage, obviously. That is impregnating a corporate system or structure with spies or systems so as to facilitate leakage of information which could in all probability mar the growth, financial stability, and the prospects of victim organization to have sustained development in the future. So basically, you're stealing their secrets with the goal of prospering for yourself and potentially damaging your target corporation. Now, we need to establish that there is a difference between what we call espionage versus corporate intelligence. Corporate intelligence gathering is legal and ethical along certain guidelines. These activities are such as examining corporate publications, websites, patent filings to determine the operations of a corporation. Now, that's corporate intelligence gathering. Corporate espionage would be obviously illegal and covers illicit activities like the theft of trade secrets, bribery, blackmail, technological surveillance, attempts to sabotage a corporation through their network, internally if you work there. This are all things that will be considered espionage and do not fall under the corporate intelligence gathering. Some of the other intelligence practices, they are used widely throughout the industry, and some of the companies that participate in corporate intelligence are companies such as Microsoft, Motorola, Procter & Gamble, HP, IBM, Coca-Cola, Xerox. Now, I feel that companies need to be aware of their competitors' strategies and make efforts to effectively counter those strategies in order to sustain themselves in the market. Now, that's all fine and dandy as long as they're using competitive intelligence and not corporate espionage. The law in corporate espionage. The Economic Espionage Act of 1996 was put in place to prevent such things as corporate espionage. They defined it according to the economic espionage as theft of trade secrets. Economic espionage is a federal criminal offense per its definition in the Economic Espionage Act. Now, the act is kind of funny. It imposes a 10-year prison term and/or maximum $250,000 fine to any person, or a $5 million fine on any corporation/organization who knowingly steals, destroys any trade secret with intent to economically benefit anyone other than the owner of those secrets. This Economic Espionage Act of 1996 also allows the U.S. government to take possession or make the thief forfeit any proceeds or property derived from economic espionage, and may require forfeiture of such property that's used to commit economic espionage. Also, the weird part is if it all changes here. It's a 15-year prison term or a $500,000 fine on any person, or a $10 million fine on any organization that steals, destroys a trade secret with intent to benefit any foreign power. So you see, as soon as a foreign power is involved, it gets just significantly more detrimental to that person who's trying to commit that crime. Some of the methods for corporate espionage: to steal, conceal, carry away by fraud or deception, most often So people use their computer as the conduit for theft, emailing, scanning, loading onto a CD, a disk, copy, scan, duplicate, sketch, draw, photograph, download, upload, destroy, photocopy, replicate, transmit, deliver, send, mail, communicate, or, like I said, email trade secrets. Next slide. The espionage players, some of the people who have been known to be actively involved, foreign intelligence agencies, hostile nations, domestic and foreign corporations, organized crime, hackers, obviously those that have some benefit to be gained, or even employees that are currently working for the company. Reasons why an employee would agree to spy on their employer. They may be in need of money, seeking sex, love. Somebody might be offering that service. They're obviously disgruntled. They may be a thrill seeker. They might get some kind of weird, twisted pleasure out of committing espionage. They could be an activist. They could be working at, say, an oil company and wanting to steal their secrets on the spill or something they're covering up. They might have an ideology, or be called what we would call an ideologue, somebody whose ideology is butting heads with their employer, and that's their motivation. Also, they could be a former employee. Obviously, they're mad because they got fired. Now, some of the hostile nations I spoke of that have widely engaged in sophisticated cyber corporate espionage are Russia, China, North Korea, Cuba, and Iran. Now that's a laundry list right there. Basically, our potential enemies right now. So obviously, the reports, according to the FBI, point to them as the leading conductors of corporate espionage. Some of the famous cases. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Gillette versus Stephen Lewis Davis case. Basically, Mr. Davis worked at Gillette, and he decided to send out a mass email of Gillette's new razor design to numerous companies with the intent of getting paid for it. Now, basically, he must have not been thinking when he sent out the emails, because he basically just sent out a mass email. Now, the reason why he got caught was because Gillette's competitor, Bic, saw the email and decided, hey, this is unethical, we better, we wouldn't want this to happen to us. So that's how he got caught. He just sent out the mass email and wasn't so smart in his way. Another big case was the Cadence Design Systems versus Avant. Avant is a software company, and it had stolen code from Cadence Design Systems. Cadence said, hey, you stole our code, and brought him to court. Avant was ordered to pay $182 million in restitution, and that was in the criminal courts. Now, once the criminal proceedings were closed, Cadence brought a civil suit against Avant, and they settled out of court for an additional $265 million. So for the stealing of the code, criminally it cost them $182 million, civilly $265 million, bringing a total for this espionage activity to just short of $500 million for stealing some code. So we can see that this is not a small amount of money at play here. We can see that corporate espionage is very serious, involving corporations, hostile nations, employees, and from what I found, it occurs very, more often than it's in the public, because a lot of it is settled out of court, and when it's settled out of court, the public doesn't really get to know a lot about it. So my works cited page, as you can see here, I went to the FBI website, the Department of Justice. I used a website called findlaw.com to get a lot of the legal information. Computerfraud.us, which is the government computer fraud website, and the lawjournalfeeds.com. And there's a good PDF file on corporate espionage. So I hope you guys like my presentation, and thank you guys very much.